Hussein Talit bowling very well in his first over of his spell. 1 wicket with no runs. 3 balls.
Very welcome to all of you who are just joining us live from Prairie View 5 at the DAFA News Presents Houston Open 2023. A blockbuster contest right now is underway between Dallas All-Stars and Clarion Eagles. A 15-team tournament this year is the DAFA News Houston Open 2023, and these two teams are arguably at the top of that peak. They're sitting at the top of the mountain. These two are wonderful teams, and as we are just catching up, there is a big wicket that's been taken. Hussein Talat, the bowler, in his very first over, gets the big wicket of Saif Badr. Dallas All-Stars had won the toss, and they had decided to put the Clarion Eagles in. There was a wicket in the very first over. The bowling pair of Sheldon Cottrell and Shannon Gabriel bowled with a lot of steam with the new ball, and now Hussein Talat has come in as first change, and he has taken a big scalp as well. With me, I've got my young commentary partner in the commentary box. This is the team of Munir Majid, and introducing to you is 13-year-old Laksh Angam.
Thank you.
Laksh, your experience so far watching this game, you've been pretty excited about seeing some of the stars you've seen on TV over the years playing in tournaments like IPL, PSL, CAPL, some of the really big tournaments across the globe.
Yeah.
Now, watching them in front of your eyes.
Yeah, it just seems that they're better than it looks on TV. You just have to see it live.
Yeah, like you mentioned to me earlier, when you see the radar or the speed gun tick at even an underwhelming 130 kph from a bowler, but watching 130 right in front of your eyes is a totally different experience. You blink and you miss it. I wonder what 140 plus might be in real life. We've seen some of those bowlers also at this facility. There's some in this tournament who are clocking 140 plus. As Hussein Talat continues, and that one's been flicked to short fine leg. No harm done.
Maiden double wicket from Hussein Talit in his first over. That's beautiful over in T20. Shannon Gabriel and Sheldon Cottrell, other than the first wicket in the first over, they have not bowled up to the standards in the first 4 overs. And the bowling change to Hussein Talit has proved very useful, picking up 2 wickets in his first over. Looks to be another bowling change. I believe this is Ashley Nurse. Right arm orthodox, off spin.
Ashley Nurse has, of course, played for the Houston Hurricanes in previous seasons of the minor league. Is part of the Dallas All-Stars franchise for the Houston Open. And if I'm correct, he's also going to be playing his minor league for Dallas Mustangs in the upcoming minor league season. To give you a quick recap of this game, Unmukt Chand had won the toss, and he had no hesitation in putting the Clarion Eagles into bat. They're a happy chasing side, and some turn straight away on the first ball. Takes the outside edge and goes to point. A dot ball to start from Ashley Nurse. We saw a lot of pace and bounce and aggression. Good carry through from the 3 seamers who have bowled so far. And on the first ball from Ashley Nurse, we saw some turns. So there's definitely everything for all kinds of skill disciplines as Zishan Ashraf advances down the track. Doesn't make good contact, so it only rolls gently to mid-off for just a single. Ben Dunk. You've heard that name as well in T20 leagues across the world. And he goes
that's
inside
a
out.
Beautiful shot. Umpire signaling 4.
Well hit by Ben Dunk. He's again one of those players who gets his iron. He's going to make it count. He can go big. A very powerful player.
Yeah, good option from Ben Dunk to play with the spin to the offside. From the last match I've seen, a lot of the players were trying to slog it. Oh, now it's down the leg and he just easily sweeps it.
Yeah, the risk with bowling an orthodox off spin within the power play is that you only have 2 fielders outside, and batsmen of the caliber of Ben Dunk and Zishan Ashraf are more than capable of manipulating the field and finding their gaps. There's a long off in position and there's a deep square leg. So Ben Dunk for the previous delivery went inside out over that in-ring offside field, and this one he swept it fine. 2 back-to-back boundaries, and now he nudges it into the gap for a single. Regardless of this onslaught, the Dallas All-Stars should be super happy with the 3 wickets they've picked so far, all within the power play, all within the first 5 overs. Big scalps, those 3. As this one is up in the air, but again, that same gap that was picked by Ben Dunk is now picked by Zishan Ashraf. 3 boundaries came off that over.
Yeah, 14 runs off that over. That's one of the risks to bowl a spinner in the power play. But now the power play is ended, so they might bring him back in his next over, but we'll see. Other than that first ball, Ashley Nurse hasn't bowled well from the first ball. Umpire signaling power play. Hussein Talit coming in with his second over. Oh, flicked easily to fine leg. Batsman take an easy single.
So now that the batting power play is done and dusted, 49 runs came off it, the field can spread out a bit. So I'm seeing 5 fielders, in fact 4 fielders inside the 30-yard ring. Unmukt Chand has really opened up the field, and rightly so. He's picked up 3 wickets. They're going at just about 7 runs and over. In fact, 8 runs and over. And they just want to bowl tightly, and they should be okay with giving 1s and 2s, but stop the boundaries, just like in that.
Fielded out there.
Just like on that occasion, the sweeper runs around and stops that boundary, keeps it down to 1 run. And the Dallas, after picking those 3 wickets, would just want to bowl quiet 8 to 9 overs and get into that death with maybe around 110 or 20 out of 14, 15 overs, and then see what they can restrict the Clarion Eagles to. That should be the recipe for the Dallas All-Stars.
Beautiful ball from Hussein Talib. But he shouldn't get too greedy either, because his last over, maiden with a double wicket, shouldn't be more greedy for more wickets. Just let the wickets come.
Yeah, if
He's
we ever
still
had
bowling
a
beautifully.
Dafa News Houston Open Premier League or Fantasy League rather, that over was worth a lot of points. Maiden overs in fantasy cricket leagues are worth their weight in gold. And if you have a double wicket maiden, that's just something you cannot top in the course of a T20 game. Nice and short, digs it into the wicket. Almost spongy bounce there. A dot ball.
Yeah, the wicket has lost some of its green than the morning. Looks to be a little bit more bouncy, a little spongy.
And the seam attack, which the Dallas All Stars have got, is going to be hard to topple in this tournament. I don't think you can get a better trio of seamers than the three we have seen today.
Oh, another flick shot. Fielder at fine leg, fielding that easily.
Good camera work there by our friends at SC Tech Productions. The ball tracking has been on the money, to say the very least. We've got you close up of some of the players. We've captured action in 360 degrees across the ground. And there's more to come. Given these lineups, it's going to be an action-packed game as Ben Dunk.
Oh, Ben Dunk. Heaves that into the leg side. That's a 6.
And you see that SC Tech production van had just landed meters away from it. The best part was the confidence with which he stepped out, because Hussain Talat is bowling at a decent notch right now. And just to step down the track against the run of play to a fast bowler and dispatch him down the ground, that often shatters the confidence of a bowler.
Yeah, that last ball there just ruined Hussein Talat's figures. Not exactly ruined, but bowling very beautifully before that.
Here he comes in again. Might have to try some kind of a variation, and he does. Into the pitch. A little slower than the last couple of deliveries, and rightly so. When Ben Dunk is looking to use his pace to cream the ball on the leg side. There was intent on that last delivery as well, but just a single. 10 runs came off that over. The score now, we'll get that updated in just a second. 7 overs have been completed. The score is 59 for 3 at the end of 7.
Oh yes, it seems they have decided to bring Ashley Nurse back into the attack. He's bowling to Zishan Ashraf from around the wicket. That's huge. That's huge from over the side screen. That's 6. Zishan Ashraf making Unmukt Chand regret his decision to bring Ashley Nurse back into the attack. So you see Unmukt Chand trying to talk to Ashley Nurse, how he's going to bowl, and let's see what he's going to do next.
As the batting scorecard comes on in front of you, in spite of getting these 3 wickets, the thing about lineups like these is you've got the likes of Mukhtar Ahmed out on the first ball. You've got the wicket of Shoaib Maqsood and Saif Badr. You must think you've done your job for the day, but here you are facing up against Ben Dunk and Zishan Ashraf, with Tom Bruce still to come. I'm going to switch this back on. And that was the last delivery. Apologies, you couldn't see that on your screens, but that was nicely played for just a single as Ben Dunk faces Ashley Nurse.
Oh, poor delivery by Ashley Nurse, but not too short for Ben Dunk to rock back on the back foot and dispatch that. Just a single. Ooh, now that's a good ball from Ashley Nurse. If he can keep it consistent there, then he won't go for too many runs.
And that's the kind of turn we were talking about. That there was some big turn on that last delivery. And again, similar line and length. It didn't turn as much. There was some confusion. Zishan seemed to want the single. But what we've seen in these 2 overs from Ashley Nurse is if you really give the ball a lot of revs, there's some grip on the surface. So it really depends if you have the courage to flight the ball and give it those revs. There may be some rewards. Just as we said, there are those rewards. Ashley Nurse, courageously, in spite of conceding 22 runs, kept flighting it, kept tossing it up, looking for that turn. And Zishan Ashraf was done by that big spin on that delivery. Although he would be quite disappointed by himself, he should not miss out on those. He was on the back foot. He had plenty of time to place it where he wanted, but just didn't make that right connection. And a faint tickle to the keeper, and that's a big wicket now. 4 wickets down. Ashley Nurse, at the end of his second over, has picked up a wicket. 22 for 1, his figures. And Zishan Ashraf is the batsman who's making his way out off the ground after being dismissed. And the new batsman now is Tom Bruce. As you see, Zishan Ashraf scored 30 runs of 20 deliveries, caught by the wicketkeeper Lahiru Malantha, bowled of Ashley Nurse, a strike rate of 150, 4 fours and a 6.
Yeah, Zishan Ashraf hitting 6 on the first ball, but Ashley Nurse has literally got the last laugh.
Now there's a change in bowling from the Forest end. Bipul Sharma, who's a first-class cricketer, played for the state of Punjab in India. Also plays for the DC Hawks. Is into the attack for the Dallas All-Stars. Some of you would remember him from the Sunrisers Hyderabad franchise, where he played some of his IPL cricket. One amongst many stars who have descended upon the Prairie View Cricket Complex for this DAFA News Houston Open 2023. Laksh?
Yeah, the Clarion Eagles are going at a good run rate, 8.33 in the first overs, but they're losing too many wickets. They wouldn't want to lose any more wickets after that last one. Okay. Good cover drive to, good off drive to mid off to long off.
Now Ben Dunk facing Ladda could be a good contest. Left arm orthodox, looking to bowl to a left-handed batsman who likes to go cow corner, who has that big slog sweep. Just
Good move from Ben Dunk there, looking to step out, be aggressive, and good that he noticed that the ball was in there to be hit, and just played it to mid wicket.
yeah, they've been exchanging pleasantries in these first couple of balls. I wonder when the big shot is coming out. Again, nicely played. Some turn there.
Looks to be a leg by. See if the umpire signals. Yes.
It's also interesting to notice that Ben Dunk might have to take a little subdued approach, given that he lost his partner in the form of Zishan Ashraf, and they've lost 4 wickets. Tom Bruce is very new at the crease. There's still 11 overs to go after this delivery. Nicely worked off the back foot for what's going to be just a single. So it's going to be interesting if somebody like Ben Dunk continues to go at the pace he's been batting, and he's been looking to dispatch not just the bad balls, but he's been looking to manufacture shots of good deliveries. But given that there are 4 big wickets back in the dugout, I wonder if the approach might be to just see through the next phase of 3 to 4 overs and stitch a tiny partnership before exploding in the last 5 to 6 overs. Laksh?
Yeah, I agree with you. They should try to settle down a little bit while still keeping the run rate ticking. And once they get settled down, Ben Dunk is hitting, and he still needs a couple more deliveries to get himself fully settled. But Tom Bruce is new to the crease, and Tom Bruce should give himself like a couple overs to get himself into the crease.
As you see, Ashley Nurse is going to continue his third over. The Pacers, Sheldon Cottrell, Shannon Gabriel, and Hussain Talat have bowled 2 overs apiece as Ashley Nurse continues, and that's played to mid-wicket, who's on the edge of the 30-yard to stop that single.
Yeah, Ashley Nurse gaining a little bit of confidence back from that wicket in the last over, and a big one was it.
That's an interesting exchange. A big smile on the face of Tom Bruce. He faced the first couple of deliveries and he sized up Ashley Nurse. He knew there's that big gap towards sweeper cover on the offside boundary. Was looking to make that room, but the ball followed him.
That looks to be 4. No. Fielder stops it. They run back for 2. Ashley Nurse hands on his head.
Ashley Nurse is getting a lot of exaggerated movement. Not just drift, but also turn of the pitch. So what's happening is Tom Bruce is looking to play inside out, but the ball just keeps following him. He just cannot create that gap. That one doesn't turn as much or didn't get that kind of drift. So on this occasion...
That's beautiful running from Ben Dunk. That's beautiful.
2 more to the total.
There. Yeah, Unmukt Chand. Ooh, big appeal there.
I think the slog sweep was on given the way the ball was shaping into him. He would rather look for that shot than that inside out just because of the exaggerated drift and turn. But I think he got outside the line of the off stump on that occasion, which is the safe approach for a shot like that. And that's what saved him on that occasion.
Yeah, that's the end of the 10th over. Clarion Eagles are 75 for 4. Yeah, Unmukt Chand thinking to keep on the spin attack. Maybe bring on the Pacers in the death overs.
So, like you can see, Mukhtar Ahmed was out of the first ball, a big wicket. But then at 35, they lost those 2 wickets, and you should never, in the context of a T20 game, lose wickets in clusters.
Oh, big appeal there, big appeal, and umpire gives it. Beautiful bowling by Bipul Sharma.
Just talking of losing wickets in clusters, there have been 2 more lost within the space of a few runs. Ben Dunk is now a massive wicket. We were just discussing this whether Ben Dunk would like to take a subdued approach and see out the next few overs. But as we had also said, that Bipul Sharma bowling to Ben Dunk is a rivalry Ben Dunk would fancy. Left armour bowling around the wicket into his pads, and that slog sweep was always going to be on. Unfortunately for him, it pitched in line of the stumps and just straightened enough for umpire Jermaine Lindo to raise his finger. And I think the Clarion Eagles now are down in the dust. They've lost half their side, and half their side they've lost most of their batting. And it's going to be very difficult for them to recover from here. The lower middle order has to bat for 10 overs, which is a big ask in T20. And it's not just about survival, but it's also scoring runs at a notch, which is never easy for the lower middle order. 75 and 10 overs anyways is not a lightning pace, just a meager run rate of 7.5 and over.
Yeah, Michael Grattan coming into the crease. I think he should make a partnership with Tom and himself just to not expose the lower order too early, or else their score could be very low and it would be a clean sweep.
So Michael Grattan takes strike to Bipul Sharma. And that one's driven to cover, a dot ball.
Single taken there. Clarion Eagles were off to a flying start, but after those 3 wickets or 4 wickets, they've not been doing so well.
Another one that's knocked down to the long on boundary for a single. Michael Grattan hails from Netherlands and has played some of his cricket also in New Zealand. He's got big responsibility on his shoulders now to carry this innings forward. Him and Tom Bruce will have to stitch a partnership. And in fact, just bat through the innings. One of them needs to go on and
For 2. Good over from Bipul Sharma. 5 runs and a wicket coming from it. Carey Pierre coming into the attack. Another left arm orthodox spinner, it seems. See what he can do. A lot of spinners they seem to have on this team. Oh, very rash throw by the fielder. There was no need by that. Looking for some aggression, but a very well tried attempt by the keeper.
If you thought the pace attack was too hot to handle, the spinners, the spin trio we have seen so far, Ashley Nurse and the two left armers, are again somebody who collectively can tighten the noose on the batting and have a very strong chokehold. Carey Pierre is quite an established cricketer, hails from Trinidad. In fact, he was amongst one of the youngest Trinidadi cricketers to make their debut for the West Indies. So life is not going to be easy for Clarion Eagles, the duo of Michael Grattan and Tom Bruce. As Carey comes in again, nice and tight line and length, punched off the back foot by Michael Grattan for a single. The score moves on to 84. Definitely not where 85, in fact, definitely not where Clarion Eagles intended to be at the end of 12. But they'll have to make do with the situation. And
oh, shot. Good way to end the over there. 9 runs. Yeah, Carey Pierre was keeping it tight that over, only giving a single a ball, but just let it loose in that last ball, dropping it short. Tom Bruce, it seems, gave himself room, moved to the leg side, and just really slashed it over the top of cover. Cut to the sweeper. Bipul Sharma not giving any way in his overs. think this is a very smart approach from Tom Bruce and Michael Grattan. Uh, yeah, looking to just take singles, try to find that bad ball in that over. And yeah, he finds that bad ball but doesn't seem to put it away as much as he'd like to. Like the last over, they just tucked it around for singles. And then the last ball, gone, 4. Oh, heaved. Is that high in the air? Is he going to go over the fielder? Is he going to catch it? Oh, beautiful catch. Wait, 6?
Yeah, I think as he
he's
completed the
finished
catch, he stepped out of the boundary.
That's very good sportsmanship from the fielder at deep mid wicket. Could have easily just said, I caught it. Yeah. Michael Grattan.
Not so, because we are literally, our cameras are tracking every inch of this field, and we could see on our monitors that as he completed the catch, his right foot had already taken him outside the boundary.
Yeah, like I said, they're just ticking it around for singles in the first few balls, hitting the last ball, gone for a boundary or anything.
But that's good intent. That's what they need now. 11 overs, in fact 13 overs have gone, so in the next 7 overs they want this partnership to face most of these deliveries, and also anticipate or hope that one of them really gets stuck and explodes and bats deep in this innings, if not both, as Kerpier continues.
Oh, another shot. That's going to be 4. Or 6? That's 6.
This one now nicely played of the back foot. Score moves along to 106. Kerpier is going at almost 12 and over. And this one, good intent again, because Kerpier is tossing the ball up. So Michael Grattan sees an opportunity. If he can get under the ball and get some good connection, he can always clear the boundary like he's done on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, they can just keep taking singles off of this over. 'Cause they already hit a 6 off the first ball. Now they can hit more boundaries, but in this stage with the wickets they have lost, it wouldn't be smart to force any of those shots.
This one is nicely cleaned up by that pairing of two fielders, one at a very fine 45 and one at a slightly finish point. And this one is straight up in the air, but there was a collision with the batsman, and Kerpier is not happy. But the umpire there, Sandeep Godlekar, rules it in favor of the batsman, that there was no change in direction or there was no intent for an obstruction, so that's an easy single down the ground. Kerry has to collect his hat and walk away from the confrontation as over number 14 comes to an end. It's 108 for 5.
Yeah, Michael Grattan, Tom Bruce have done extremely well to keep the score ticking and not lose any wickets. Let's just see if they can play the rest of the overs and bring the Clarion Eagles to a well-defendable score. But in this situation, doesn't look like they'll be close to 160, probably 155.
As you can now see, Bipul Sharma has bowled 3 overs, very miserly 3 overs for just 18 runs. So he's coming on for his over number 4. And this
Oh,
one,
that's dispatch. That's 6.
that's quite a hit from Tom Bruce. Like we were saying, Bipul has bowled 3 good overs. And now we're almost entering that time of the innings, the last 6 overs, which is going to play a major role in the complexion of this game. Clarion Eagles, in spite of losing those 5 wickets, want to finish strong as the next ball comes in. And no harm done. They have those 2 fielders behind point. He's going around the wicket, going pretty wide on the crease and looking to bowl at that wide outside the off stump.
Another 4. Will he stop it? No. Good effort by the sweeper there. Yeah, Tom Bruce is picking up the pace here. 35 of 23 deliveries, 2 fours, 2 sixes. Oh, that's heaved. Will that be another 6? Yes, that's well clear of the boundary. Tom Bruce is taking Bipul Sharma to the cleaners. 16 off of 4 balls. Tom Bruce looking to be a very good partnership with Michael Gradden.
Tom Bruce living up to his reputation. He's played international T20 cricket for New Zealand. Is a powerful player, and he's pretty good against the spinners like he's showing here. This one again, short and wide. Almost hops on the back foot, but could not find the gap, and it's a dot ball. As Bipul Sharma comes again and again.
Oh, that's another. Is that gonna be another 6? Yes, it is. Bipul Sharma and the keeper both have their hands on their knees. They both do not know what to do.
Now this has turned the tables just a little bit. This approach that Tom Bruce has taken, the counter-attacking innings he has played. You would have thought that after the loss of those 5 wickets, he would have taken a back seat and just looked to play out the innings. But cometh the hour, cometh the man. There are certain players who, in T20s, regardless of the situation, back themselves to make this kind of an impact. And Tom Bruce has done exactly that for New Zealand in the past, and now he's doing it for Clarion Eagles. Age 31. He's still got a lot of good years ahead of him. And he can really make an impact in tournaments like these. Now, understandably so, given the kind of liking these two were showing for the spin, and they have this trio of fast bowlers who have in total 6 overs to go. I think one of them won't be bowling out. But from here on in, you can count on Unmukt Chand to use those fast bowlers to finish off the last 5 overs of this innings. But now with Hussain Talat bowling this over, and there would be only 4 overs left in the innings, he could either finish with Shannon Gabriel and Sheldon Cottrell, or he could continue Hussain Talat in those last 4 overs. Here comes Hussain Talat, and
shot.
Improvisation of the finest form. He knew that fielder at mid-off was inside the circle. Cover was inside the circle, so that shot was always on. But the mannerism in which he played that, 1 foot in the air. You see that modern T20 batting from players like Surya Kumar Yadav and Harry Brook. There was almost that kind of demeanor in that stroke he played.
No bowling changes seeming to work for the Dallas All-Stars. What is Unmukt Chand going to do after this over?
Remind you, as Laksh pointed out, Hussain Talat bowled his first over for no runs. It was a maiden, 2 wicket maiden, and since then he's conceded 14 runs and 7 deliveries. Let's see what's in store here. Pulled away, there's a man back there, so just a single.
Yeah, I may want to take back that statement about the Clarion Eagles only getting to 155. Right now they're 135 in 15.2 overs. After that last over from Bipul Sharma, 22 runs off of that, and they're looking to go for 170, maybe even 180. Oh, another shot. Is he going to catch it? Yes! Sweeper has caught it. 3 wickets for Hussain Talat. Bowling change has worked.
Just timed it too well for his own liking.
Yes.
The way he played the shot, you didn't realize it was almost going to carry to that sweeper cover. The way he generated so much power, there wasn't a big bat swing in that stroke. So I was surprised. I didn't turn my head all the way towards the sweeper cover. I thought this would probably go on a couple of bounces to the boundary, but it almost carried all the way. Could have gone for a 6 if he'd really had a bigger bat swing. And I think that's a huge wicket in the context of this game, given the way Tom Bruce was going, and also keeping in mind that there's not much batting to come. This may actually result in a difference of 15 to 20 runs at the very least in the final score that the Clarion Eagles put on the board. Wow, Hussain Talat is having a ball. This is some spell that he's in the middle of. 2 wickets in his first over, and comes back on to finish the innings and gets a third one. So like the point I was making earlier, I just don't think Unmukt Chand, even if he wants, he can save 1 over of Hussain Talat and not bowl him out. So one of Shannon Gabriel and Sheldon Cottrell might not bowl their entire spell of 4 overs each.
Yeah, so Shannon Gabriel and Sheldon Cottrell didn't bowl that well in the first few overs. Might come back for an over or two, but we'll see what Unmukt Chand does with his bowlers. Most likely going to keep Hussain Talat for the death overs, maybe even the last over. He's bowling very well here. Oh, shot! Oh, but just a single down to the... Oh, just a single down to third man.
Big man Sheldon Cottrell might have been caught on his heels there a little bit, waving his arms in the air. Maybe a little more alert, and he could have made another catch out of that. Could have been the 4th wicket. But if you look at the stats of Hussain Talat, which we're going to pull up on our screen in just a second, he's gone at 6 and over and has picked up 3 wickets for 15 runs. As this one is played to mid-off, and the batsman gets through for a single.
Yeah, Ahmed Butt, the new batsman coming in. He just needs to rotate the strike and give it to Michael Grattan so he can just keep hitting.
Yeah, with Tom Bruce out there, it was a totally different story. With those last 30 deliveries to come, you could have even looked at 50 to 60 runs.
Oh, that's huge. Is that 90 meters? Yes, that's over the side screen. That's gone.
That's on Highway 290 if I'm exaggerating. And I can take the liberty to say that. But the way he played that shot, his weight was almost falling back. He wasn't really leaning in. It's almost like a tennis backhand where you just throw your weight back and give it a big twirl. And that's what he did, Michael Grattan. And ruined the figures there for Hussain Talat just a little bit. And the score moves on to 143 for 6.
Yeah, 13 runs off that over. Now the run rate is just below 9 for the Clarion Eagles. That's a really good improvement from where they were from the 6th to 11th overs.
Yeah, and that's the Tom Bruce impact we're seeing, because when they lost those 5 wickets and these two got together, by these I mean Tom Bruce and Michael Grattan, they were going at 7.5 or so and over. So that Tom Bruce innings got them to 9 runs and over. And if he batted through the point I was making before that 6, in those last 5 overs, if that partnership sustained almost to get them into the 19th or 20th over, they could have even gotten close to 200. So it depends to be seen how Ahmad Butt comes on, but he hit that 6. He's on 7 of 2 deliveries. So it looks like he can be a good partner for Michael Grattan. And still, I think the last 4 overs, they could go at 10 runs and over. 180 could be on the cards, or not so much if there's any fielder getting across. Luckily for Ahmad, there's no one there. Sheldon Cottrell comes up. He's been brought on, and he bowls a slower one, uses the pitch. The ball sticks in the surface just a little bit. And Michael Grattan gets through for 2 runs.
Yeah, very smart there from Sheldon Cottrell, just slowing it down. Michael Grattan may seem to have thought that he would have bowled some gas. Oh, he hits it to mid-wicket, cow cornerish, just for a single.
Also, oftentimes it's not easy to pick the ball out of the hand of somebody like Sheldon Cottrell. The way his trailing bowling arm comes through, and this one
Straight
again.
up. He drops this. No, that's easily taken.
Like I was saying, the way he's bowling, that bowling arm, even if it's bowled in the pitch, it's not super easy for somebody to just get under the ball. And it looked like Ahmad Butt pulled the trigger too soon on that occasion, only managed to sky it up in the air. An easy catch for short third man. And we were just saying this, that it remains to be seen how good of a partner Ahmad Butt can make for Michael Grattan. They're 7 down now with 3.5 overs to go. So they still need somebody to stand there and keep company for Michael Grattan if they have to get into that 180-run range. At this pace, they might not even bat out their full 20 overs. As the new batsman comes in, jersey number 23. We'll get to his name in just a moment.
Ali Shafiq.
Ali Shafiq, the skipper. Known for his fast bowling exploits, but here he's required to keep company and ensure that his team gets to a respectable total. Dallas All-Stars batting lineup could make easy work of a chase anywhere under 180.
Good total for the Clarion Eagles at this stage, with how many wickets they've lost, is about 175 to 180. Anything less, and even that score could be easily chased down by Dallas All-Stars with their batting lineup. Oh, flicked off his pads. Is he gonna hit the direct hit? No. Good backup by the number 18. Sheldon Cottrell having a good comeback from his first 2 overs, picking up another wicket with a 7.06 economy. Oh, that looks to be 4. Yes, just one bounce 4. Top edges it over the top of slip. 8 runs coming off of that over.
Clarion Eagles will take what comes their way. Runs are what counts. The mannerism in which they come doesn't.
.151 for 7 with 3 overs left to go.
In these last 3 overs, for Clarion Eagles' liking, Michael Grattan needs to harvest the strike as much as he can. He's the one who could deliver some big blows and again get them to that respectable total of 180. We saw in the first game on this ground how Masters Cricket Club made such easy work of a total of 166. And then Unmukt Chand won the toss and decided to field. The signs were there that they are a team who likes to chase given how strong their batting lineup is. And oftentimes on surfaces like these, which are playing so well and the outfield is lightning fast, you have to get 200 to put any kind of pressure. As Shannon Gabriel comes in, and it's worked by Ali Shafiq for a single. That's going to put Michael Grattan on strike.
Yeah, at this stage, what do you think Clarion Eagles' score would be at the end of 20 overs?
It's all subjective to people keeping company to Michael Grattan, or in fact, an assumption we are making is Michael Grattan batting through. Anything could happen in a situation like this. One wicket falls and the last two tailenders can just not throw their anchor,
Yeah.
and you quickly lose 3 wickets. You might not even get to 160. If somebody like Michael Grattan gets strike and he can make a couple of hefty blows, you might even get to 180. Just like that one, it could have almost, just like I was saying, T20 is so unpredictable. That ball might have just carried to that fielder, and within a blink, this innings would have been in total despair, and you might not even add 10 runs from here on in. So it's a game of cat and mouse at this point for the Dallas All-Stars liking. If they can get 1 wicket, that could bring another 2, and they can close this innings. For Clarion Eagles liking, have Michael Grattan on strike as much as possible. Have him bring out the long handle. Have him maybe get a couple of meaty blows and get them over that 180 run mark. Nicely played by Ali Shafiq, doing just what the doctor ordered. Simple cricket, no stupidity. Sometimes the courage is doing the simple things, and the sensible thing on that occasion was to put Michael Grattan on strike.
Yeah, Michael Grattan might want to look at dispatching these last 3 balls of the over. Let's see what he does.
The problem is, in spite of all those permutations we just described, at the end of the day, you're still against an international like Shannon Gabriel. And even hitting him over the boundary is going to take some doing. He seems to be bowling that hard length, using the pitch, top of off stump. He's not bowling any kind of half volleys. He's not experimenting anything. Let's see what he does now. Again, that back of length. Very hard to get that kind of ball away at that pace. It's just coming, searing into your body. You have to make room, get on the back foot. And then also there's no room. It's literally angled right into your ribs. Unless you're a puller like Ricky Ponting or Rohit Sharma, it's very hard to get those balls away. Laksh?
Yeah, I believe the middle to lower order have done exceptionally well to the collapse of their top order in the first 10 overs. They've brought it back up to 155 in 17.4 overs. But still, as I said, the Dallas All-Stars can chase it down easily if their batting is...
Now, can he slip in a Yorker? He again goes for that obvious back of length. The international is showing his experience. Everything is kind of on the same line and length. He's sticking to that same plan, just back of length. If you want to hit the long boundary, bring out the long arm, the long handle, and take me on, dispatch me over cow corner. Gonna take a lot of power, a lot of good connection, but he's not bowling a length where the batsman could get under the pitch of the ball and play the big heave. Let's see what Michael Grattan can do now. Maybe walk across the off stump if it's that same kind of length. Short fine is inside the circle. That could be one option. And
Oh, is that 6? No, easily taken by third man.
again, like we've been saying, that length is just impossible to get away. Hardest of hard lengths. He's bowled everything to that same plan. There's nothing you can do. It's very hard to pull, and even if you pull, it's not short enough for you to get it behind square. You have to go cow corner. At that pace and at that length, it's impossible to get the distance. It's always hitting near the splice of the bat. Wonderful. We've seen a pro international show us how it's done in the death overs. And with that, I think the hopes of Clarion Eagles might have taken another drop. A lot was expected of Michael Grattan, but he has now departed. With 2 overs to go, it's 156 for 8 now. Shannon Gabriel, you're just going to see that update to 3 overs, 1 for 24. Sheldon Cottrell has picked up 2 wickets of his 3 overs. And Hussain Thalat has picked up 3 wickets of his 23. Like I was saying, it's going to take quite a decision from Unmukt Chand to not bowl out Hussain Thalat. But it seems like he's showing respect to his international stars in the form of Sheldon Cottrell and Shannon Gabriel. Here is Sheldon Cottrell, and this one is heaved too long on, just for a single. Sheldon is not happy with the fielder being on his heels on the edge of the boundary there, but results in only a single. The new batsman is Arshad Iqbal, facing up to Sheldon Cottrell. And again, it's that hard length, Laksh. Both the West Indian international bowlers have a clear plan. They haven't pitched anything up in these last 2 overs since they came on to bowl at the death. Everything is back of length, hard length, hitting the splice of the bat.
Yeah, Sheldon Cottrell not looking to give anything away in these last 2 overs.
That one was slightly foolish, and the batsman there, Arshad, would think he probably missed out just because those kind of deliveries have been scarce. They haven't bowled anything slightly full to which you can get under, and he would have hoped to get that down the ground, but he did not. As Sheldon Cottrell continues. This one again is slightly full, but it's really angled into the pads. There was no need for that throw. It's going to get them an easy second. Sheldon should be disappointed. That was an easy single. No need for the overthrow.
Yeah, Arshad Iqbal and Ali Shafiq might look to put these last 2 balls to the fence.
And what I've seen is they haven't even tried to bowl any Yorkers. Oftentimes, if you don't nail the Yorker even against the tailenders, a little edge or a Chinese cut can go past the keeper for a 4. He's not taking any chances. He's telling them, if you want big runs, go down the ground. Play proper shots. You're not getting any lucky respite as the throw comes in.
That's out. That was almost beautiful running from Arshad Iqbal, but he's run out. That was a really good throw from the deep. Can't really do much of that. They needed those 2 runs for the death.
The 9th wicket now goes down. And the Clarion Eagles are under serious threat of not batting out their 20 overs, which is quite unacceptable in the context of T20 cricket. You get 120 balls, the least you expect is to bat through those 120 balls. The last pair is at the crease now. Skipper Ali Shafiq. Is joined by Sadaf Hussain. The last pair for the Clarion Eagles. Only Tom Bruce and Zishan Ashraf got going. A little bit of cameo from Michael Grattan and Ben Dunk, but nobody else got to the party. And even the batsmen who got in, they didn't carry on to score big or have any kind of impact on this game. Clarion Eagles would have to bowl out of their skin, but before that, the task at hand is to bat 20 overs. This pair needs to face 7 balls, and they're up against 2 international bowlers. Nice and full. It's played to deep mid-wicket. A single is a foregone conclusion. They just walk through as over number 19th comes to an end. Sheldon Cottrell has bowled out a spell of 4 overs with figures of 2 for 31.
Yeah, Ali Shafiq and Sadaf Hussain. If they want to have a good total, they should not lose any wickets in the next over, and they can get as many runs as they can.
Unmukt Chand is not playing by emotions. He's doing what his brain tells him. You have an experienced international fast bowler. Bowl him out at the death. He's not gone with Hussain Talat, who took 3 wickets and bowled 3 overs. He's going to stick to his experienced bowler in the form of Shannon Gabriel. Anything under 7 in this over, with no boundaries conceded, would be quite a resounding feeling for Dallas All-Stars to be able to wrap up this innings to under 170. Or if they can get the wicket, bowling out could be just what they need to start this tournament. As this is played to sweep a cover for a single. The score ticks along to 164 for 9.
Yeah, that's good from Sadaf, giving the strike to Ali Shafiq, obviously the better batsman of the pair. Ali Shafiq should look to try to hit, but not get out at the same time. See what he does.
The keeper, I just pointed out that fact in the very last over, in fact. So oftentimes that back of length delivery which Shannon Gabriel bowled so well in the last over is the way to go. But then there's also that greed of an easy wicket when you're bowling to number 10 and 11. So maybe that got the better of Shannon Gabriel.
Yeah, Ali Shafiq will feel lucky that he didn't get out there, but he'll take the runs however it comes.
Yeah, let's see what Shannon Gabriel comes up with now. He's definitely looking to close this innings. He's not the kind of bowler who would look to bowl 4 safe deliveries to number 9 and 10 or number 9 and 11. He's looking to clear the stumps, knock them out, land that knockout blow to the Clarion Eagles, and make a statement by bowling them out. And meanwhile,
Umpire signals one for the over. Shannon Gabriel cannot bowl that ball again. We saw him talking to the umpire about that decision, and the umpire stands with his own decision.
168 for 9, just 3 deliveries to go. Ali Shafiq, can you pull a rabbit out of the drawer? Mid-off is inside the circle. Fine leg is inside the circle. Can you somehow land 2 blows here? Get your team to 175. Skipper Ali Shafiq, all eyes on you. Shannon Gabriel steaming in. There he goes, and he makes good connection. Is it going to go all the way, or it's an easy catch? The fielder ran about 20 meters. That's the thing we've been saying about those kind of deliveries. It's very hard to get range on it. Ali Shafiq made good connection, but that's just not enough. And the Clarion Eagles have been bowled out for 168. Big psychological advantage for Dallas All-Stars, Laksh.
Yeah.
So we're going to quickly look at the Clarion Eagles batting. Mukhtar Ahmed was out on the first ball for a duck, a golden duck for him. Zishan Ashraf had a little bit of a partnership with Shoaib Maqsood. 30 for Zishan and 24 and 17 for Sohaib. Saif Badr couldn't get out of the blocks, got out for 0. Ben Dunk had a little cameo in between, but Tom Bruce and Michael Grattan was really the partnership that got them to a respectable score. And once those two got out, or in fact Tom Bruce was out to sweep a cover of the bowling of Hussain Talat, there wasn't much resistance, and the rest of the tail was wiped out pretty quickly by the Dallas All-Stars. Looking at the bowling of the Dallas All-Stars, Shannon Gabriel and Sheldon Cottrell started the bowling for them. They were pretty good in the power play, but the actual finishing blows were delivered by Hussain Talat. Once he got those 2 wickets with his very first over, Clarion Eagles were always chasing this game. And then on came the 3 spinners in the form of Ashley Nurse, Bipul Sharma, and Carey Peer. Bipul Sharma went for a few runs, went at 10 runs and over, but Ashley Nurse and Carey Peer were pretty good in their 2 overs. As you can see, the fall of the wickets, they constantly kept losing wickets at regular intervals. The only good partnership came for the 6th wicket between Michael Bruce and Tom Bruce and Michael Grattan. And after that 6th wicket fell, they were always out of the game, and they were chasing this game for the last few overs. And finally, they were bowled out in 19.3 overs for 168. So that's the news from the middle. When the Dallas All-Stars come out to bat, they're going to chase 169. And it should likely be skipper Unmukt Chand opening the batting for them. And they've got quite a lot of batsmen in that lineup. There's Evan Lewis. And if Unmukt Chand and Evan Lewis walk out to bat, that's one heck of an opening partnership. It's an opening partnership that should send shockwaves across oppositions and bowling lineups. And they've also got the likes of Lahiru Milantha. There's Sherfane Rutherford. There's Ashley Nurse in the lower middle order. There's Riza Hendricks. There's a lot of batting in that order. So 169 should be easy work. But Clarion Eagles also have got some good bowlers in their lineup, led by the skipper, Ali Shafiq. So we're going to join you in 10 minutes from now with the Dallas All-Stars chase. All right, welcome back live on day one of the DAFA News Houston Open 2023. This is the afternoon game, 3 p.m. start time between Dallas All-Stars and Clarion Eagles. Dallas won the toss and put the Clarion Eagles into bat, and they were able to score 168 for the loss of their 10 wickets inside the 20 overs. 2 balls weren't used in that innings. They were all out in 19.4 overs. Now, the Dallas Eagles have come out to chase, and this is as exciting of an opening partnership as they come in franchise T20 cricket here in the U.S. Unmukt Chand has walked out with Lahiru Milantha. A lot of us were anticipating Evan Lewis to open the batting with Unmukt Chand, but they've preferred to go with Lahiru Milantha. 169 is the chase. And I, Munir Majid, I'm going to welcome my young partner in the commentary box, Lush Angam. Lux, your prediction, I'm going to put you on the spot. In the second innings, you think the Dallas All-Stars are going to make easy work of that chase of 169?
Yes. To be honest, it depends on how they bat. But with someone with like Unmukt Chand, Evan Lewis, and even Lahiru Milantha, those three could easily finish it off by themselves with all their experience.
Lahiru Milantha is going to take the strike to Sadaf Hussain. Lahiru, of course, vast experience in the first-class circuit in Sri Lanka. Played for Gaul for several years.
Oh, beautiful run.
Hails from the Rangama Cricket Club, and that's 2 runs of the very first delivery. Sadaf drifting down the pads on the very first delivery. So Dallas are out of the blocks and away. And his partner at the other end is a name that needs no introduction. 2012 U19 World Cup winning captain Unmukt Chand, hailing from India. Now settled in San Francisco, as that's called wide by umpire Jermaine Lindo. And as all the good cricket in this country of late has been happening in Texas, the latest news is that even Unmukt is making his way from the Bay Area to the Dallas DFW, Greater Dallas area, and he's going to be settling in there and playing a lot of cricket in the whereabouts of Texas. As the next delivery, he hits his bearing perfectly. That's the line in length. Sadaf wants to bowl. Nicely defended by Lahiru. 3 runs on the board. Laksh, what do you make of these first few deliveries from Sadaf?
Yeah, the first ball, there's nothing really he could do much about that, but the line was drifting too much on his pads. Lahiru could easily tuck it away for 2, and that was beautiful running by Lahiru and Unmukt. And yeah, I was saying, and then the next ball wide, yeah, that's reasonable, but it's in the first over. You're still trying to get the new ball, seeing how it swings, trying to find which way you want it like to swing, into the batsman or away from the batsman. And yeah,
As you see the footage of this beautiful Prairie View 5 field, lush green during the summertime, best time of the year for that Bermuda to blossom. And there's those DAFA News banners, the sponsors of the Houston Open. And Lahiru, premeditated, advanced down the track, and Sadaf saw him coming, pulled the length back. And after a little appeal from Lahiru, the leg umpire signals to umpire Jermaine that it is indeed a wide ball. It was over the head of the batsman. And there's some debate. The bowler, honestly, Laksh, you would know playing youth cricket at this level. The bowler has no business confronting the umpire. The call's been made, and he's also signaled one bouncer over the shoulder delivery. So Lahiru is going to take up strike again to Sadaf. Coming in from the forest end is Sadaf. Again, that very clearly we can tell it's just drifting down the leg side. Exaggerated appeal again from Sadaf. Seems to be showing a lot of emotions. He wasn't happy with that wide ball, and now he thinks he's been hard done by that call of not out. But it did seem he was a little wide of the crease, angling it into Lahiru. Wrapped on, not even the pads. It was a bit on the flap. A little high and a little down the leg side.
Yeah, Sadaf is bowling a good first over, other than those two wides. Second one could be a challenge call, but at the end it's the umpire's call. But other than that, he's bowling a really good first over.
So there's a quick change that's being made after that delivery. He's dropped the long on, the mid on goes back to long on, and he's brought in fine leg inside the circle, and even the deep square leg comes in inside the circle. And I was gonna say, when I saw that fielding change, that the last delivery was slightly high on his hips down the leg side. Why would you pull that fielder up inside the circle and have a long on unless you've been bowling very full and straight, which he hadn't done so far in this over? So that field change was counterintuitive, and that played into the hands of Lahiru Milantha.
Yeah, Sadaf is saying just looking to be a little bit too overthinkative. That's the only word I can think of. But at the end, it just counterattacked himself. Still one ball left. Now 8 runs off the first over. Now it's turned into not so good over from Sadaf Hussain. Oh, shot! Flicked off the pads. Sadaf Hussain is not bowling a good line. He's getting dispatched every time he tries to bowl that same line.
Everything he has bowled to the left-hander has drifted down the pads, and he was better off having a fine leg. The conventional feel, which you're used to bowling with, generally in that power play, you need a man back there, especially when you're drifting down the pads and there's still some movement. The batsmen have shown no intent to go downtown. They haven't looked to take any risks so far. And these two are proper first-class players. They get good value for their runs. They're going to play proper shots. So you're better off sticking to a conventional field. So those two boundaries, like Laksh said, I learned a new word in my vocabulary, overthinkative. That was overthinkative, and there was no need for it, I think. And very easily the score is now 12 runs at the end of the first over. Not the kind of start the Clarion Eagles were looking for after scoring only 168.
Yeah, Urshad Iqbal coming into the attack. Let's see if they bring back Sadaf Hussain in this next over, or they might change.
Massive moment, this one. Unmukt Chand on strike, facing his first delivery. Nice line and length outside the off stump. That teasing length. Whether there's some movement in this hot, humid conditions, that ball didn't seem to do a lot. But Unmukt Chand is the kind of batsman who can take a sweet time if he wants. And he can always cover that up. In fact, put some additional runs on the board in returns, and he's going to be fine with a strike rate of 150 before you even blink. That's the kind of player he is. watchful for start as Arshad comes in again. And again, that foolish line and length, that may be a very, very close call. It did seem pretty adjacent. Look at the wicket keeper. He cannot believe it. Arshad cannot believe it. The man at Gully cannot believe it. Mind you, the view you are getting is not very adjacent. You're looking from probably about 15 meters to the right of straight down the wickets. So you just cannot tell on your screen how straight that delivery was. But Lahiru seems to suggest to Unmukt that he's fine. That ball was angling in, drifting down the leg side. And the umpire seemed to think the same as Arshad continues. This one is short. It's pulled away, but there was no fielder in that 30-yard circle. He's back on the boundary. Luckily for Unmukt, he doesn't make a lot of good connection, and it's only a single. Now the field is going to change for the left-hander.
Yeah, talking about the LBW appeal, it was like reasonable that everyone was on their hands and knees, because we all know how much of an impact Unmukt Chand can have on another team's bowling, and he is probably one of the best batsmen on the other team.
Lahiru to face up. Again, that nice line in length. Arshad has started off pretty well as compared to his counterpart from the other end. He's hitting nice areas, nice, good line in length. I think a lot of that appeal and the reactions in the aftermath might just have to do with the fact that you've hit the pads of Unmukt Chand, which you don't do very often. So it could be just tactic to create pressure, but it could also be that they thought it was a 50-50 decision, which might as well have gone their way. Lahiru again facing Arshad. Wow, what a delivery. Seemed to do a little bit of the seam, Laksh.
Yeah,
Looks like it just landed on the seam and went away from Lahiru. He was trying to feel the ball. Luckily for him, it didn't take the edge.
And he's motioning to Unmukt Chand that it's going that way. But that was a beauty. There's almost nothing Lahiru could have done about that. And it's good that he didn't get the outside edge.
He's been bowling pretty well in this over. An impressive start from Arshad. Just what the doctor ordered for the Clarion Eagles. If they have to have any chance, they have to have a very good power play. They cannot let these two get away. Lahiru advances. At least there's some intent there, but nothing comes out of it. It's a dot ball, and that's a wonderful first over from Arshad. Just one run off it.
Good comeback from Arshad after his partner Sadaf Hussain gave away 12 runs in his first over. Just showing his teammates how to bowl and what is needed to contain runs. Now let's see if they bring back Sadaf Hussain. What a shot from Unmukt Chand. Just heaves it over deep square leg. with ease. Just times it to perfection. Full bat swing, and that's all he needs.
Sadaf Hussain. There's some concerns now for the Clarion Eagles. You just cannot have one end bowling tight and one end leaking runs. And Sadaf has leaked runs so far. 18 of the 7 legal deliveries he's bowled. And you've wrapped the pads of Unmukt Chand. You've had a loud appeal. He smiled and walked away from it. He's the kind of player who won't give you any more chances. And he's somebody who in tournaments like these, when you're playing back-to-back games over a span of 4 to 5 days, he believes in volume of runs. He's an accumulator. Every single game is a big event for a player of his stature. And in chases like these, he's the perfect batsman to just bat all the way through the 20 overs, get a good 70, 80. That's how he's going to be eyeing chases in games like these. Only 150 runs are required from here. 8.4 runs an over as Sadaf continues to Unmukt Chand. This is nicely worked. And there's a direct hit. A little appeal from the keeper, but they had easily made it through for a single.
Yeah, Unmukt Chand has just changed his bat right now, but I don't know what was wrong with it because he just hit a huge 6. In 2.2 overs with no loss. With if they continue this partnership, Clarion Eagles will face a humiliating defeat.
Bats these days for T20 cricket, the softest of willow, the nicest of pings. And they carry 5 or 6 of those bats in their kit bags at all times. As Sadaf again comes to Lahiru. This is played to third man. So that concept of knocking in a bat and prepping it with the exploits of T20 cricket, Laksh, has been left behind quite some years ago. And brand new bats right out of the factory is what a lot of players carry in their kit bags. One takes a hit, the next one comes out. They're all like weapons of mass destruction. And that's what Unmukt did with that big heave on the leg side. Let's see what he does now to Sadaf, who's running in from the forest end. That's the line and length he wants to bowl. That good length hitting the top of off stump. Anything short and wide to Unmukt Chand, he's going to see the ball hit those boundary hoardings within a span of 2 seconds at best. 6-1 dot. 2 more deliveries to go in this over. 8 runs so far. Nice slower one. Into the pitch. Rolling his wrist. Rolling his fingers rather. And happily giving away the single. In fact, no run was taken there. I thought a single was taken. In fact, it is my mistake. They both of them are identical stature. Only can tell the difference from the left and right-handed pairing. Now, Lahiru is going to be on strike to Sadaf.
Solid defense there from Lahiru. 9 runs off that over. Sadaf Hussain is still not getting to the click of his bowling. I don't think the captain of Clarion Eagles will want to bring him back for his next over. But they will definitely continue Urshad Iqbal.
As you can see on your screen, DAFA News is the sponsor of the Houston Open 2023 edition, making things happen for cricket in the US. This is a big tournament, a precursor to the Major League Cricket. The Prairie View Cricket Complex playing host to this massive tournament as Arshad continues to Unmukt Chand, and he comes down the track. Doesn't get the meaty part of the bat, but look at that running between these two. Goodness me. It was almost as if the fielders didn't even think 2 runs were possible. They were all slacking and looking at each other, just jogging in. And in the middle of the pitch was a pair of cheetahs, if you say, just scampering through Unmukt Chand and Lahiru, stealing those 2 runs from under the nose of the fielding side, Laksh.
Yeah, I think the slip and the wicketkeeper should have gotten that. That was a bit lazy of them. They were just watching the ball, probably thinking they Unmukt and Lahiru couldn't make the double. But as you said, they are cheetahs. They can run very fast.
Shy at the stumps. Just a single. It's been a solid start, maybe a little sedate start, but when you're not chasing a total with a massive required run rate, wickets in hand are the key, and these are the kind of players who can accelerate at any point in time in this innings. The more these two stay on the crease, the more concerned the Clarion Eagles would be. Their main goal would be to get wickets. Wickets probably is the only way for them to restrict the Dallas All-Stars as Arshad continues. Short delivery, not where he intended it to go, but the inside edge. The Chinese cut takes it down to deep fine leg. Fine leg was inside the circle. And it goes for a 4. The score moves on to 29. I have to admire the length that Arshad has bowled so far. He was unlucky conceding that boundary, but he's had the better of these batsmen so far in this innings. Especially when there hasn't been much on offer from the other end. His partner in crime has gone for 21 of his 2 overs, whereas Arshad has only conceded 8 so far. Here he comes in again. A slower delivery, a big appeal. Arshad thinks he's got his man. Lahiru has a word with him. Maybe there was some exaggeration. Maybe Arshad genuinely think there was a nick. Maybe the bat just brushed the stumps. We can't tell from here. But all in all, it's very absorbing action, Laksh.
Yeah, Lahiru and Arshad exchanging words with Lahiru. Lahiru looking up. Maybe Arshad said something to Lahiru, and he was looking up, and he looked at the umpire, and probably Arshad said something to him that rattled him.
You got to admire the attitude of Arshad. He's really invested in his initial spell. A lot of emotion. This one is short. Lahiru takes the invitation. There were some short deliveries that had been bowled. He had tried that same shot on the previous occasion, but for the first time, He makes that connection, and connection he did make. That almost travel 85 odd meters. Goes up into the shrubs on that little hill by Highway 290. 4 overs, 35. That boundary and 6 makes the score looks all the more respectable, Laksh.
Yeah, this seems to be the case with all the bowlers who have bowled very well in their first overs. Like from the other team, what's his name? Hussein Talib was bowling very beautifully, right? And only like 1 or 2 economy in his first 2 overs, and then in his next 2 overs he got absolutely dispatched, and then he had a 7.7 economy. And the same thing has happened for Arshad Iqbal. Only giving away 1 run in his first over, and in his second, 13.
Looks like a change in the bowling has been brought about from the forest end. A much needed change, going by the nature of those first 2 overs. That's nice line and length. Nicely driven by Unmukt. Jersey number 23, we're going to get you his name pretty soon. Only way back in this game now for the Clarion Eagles is wickets. And not just 1 or 2 wickets, they need to get wickets in cluster. And this one has hit down the ground. Ali Shafiq, the skipper, is under pressure. Unmukt Chand is now starting to look settled. He's got a bite of this pitch. He senses the pace on it. He looks settled in. And he's somebody who doesn't even care about the fielding restrictions, whether it's the power play or beyond. He can play those shots because he plays good conventional shots. He's always thinking about the field, looking for gaps. And that was easy pickings for him, given mid-off was inside the circle. As Ali Shafiq continues, Ali comes from the highway, in fact the forest end, and that ball has exaggerated movement of the seam. Cut Unmukt into half. That's a good response by Ali Shafiq. Rightly so. Unmukt saw that good length, that teasing length, and he was trying to cover the line of that ball. That's good signs for Clarion Eagles that they can still, if they hit the good right areas, they can still get good movement out of this pitch and this ball. The ball has taken some trashing, but there's still relevant shine on it if you want to use it. And this one again, Unmukt advances down the pitch. Goodness me, that is some shot. Umpire Jermaine Lindell signals a 6. He's known for it's one of his most powerful strokes, which he likes to play in that power play. Advances to the fast bowler, goes inside out, over cover. He has hit a lot of 6s in the minor league and a lot of franchise tournaments across the country. Just that very shot is one of his big strengths in the power play, Laksh.
Yeah, Unmukt Chand is dealing in 6s here. 3 of them already out of his 24 runs.
That's a sign of a master at play. He just sees the kind of length the bowler is trying to hit rather. The previous ball, he tried to play him on the back foot, missed it. And this time, he took the bull by the horns and advanced down the track. Let's see what he does now. And same shot again. He tried to come down, but Ali Shafiq intelligently had changed his length. He was very full on that occasion, so gets the toe off the bat. Unmukt was looking to size up Ali Shafiq, skipper versus skipper. That's some absorbing contest.
Yeah, all the bowlers are getting dispatched for runs. And Clarion Eagles need to find a bowler who will not give anything away, or else they will lose very badly.
When the opening pair of fast bowlers couldn't get a wicket, in spite of the good spell by Arshad, a lot of hopes rested on the broad shoulders of Ali Shafiq. But the way he's gone in these 5 deliveries, hopes are sinking now. No run there. Lahiru looked to drop, play a bunt and run kind of a shot as that over comes to an end. After 5 overs, it's 48 for no loss. Dallas All-Stars are looking so strong now. Only 121 needed in 15 overs. Coming back live in over number 6. There's a bit of a conference going on. Ben Dunk talking to his bowler. There is now some sustained pressure for the last 5 overs. Like we've been saying, wickets would be the key for Clarion Eagles. And these two have done so well in the power play. Won't say it's been chanceless innings so far. There were a couple of appeals here and there, Laksh. But since then, they've settled in pretty well and they've really capitalized now. They're playing a lot of good shots.
Yeah, Ahmed Butt coming into the attack. They're doing a lot of bowling changes, but they just need to find someone who works. Oh, flicked off the pads. Come on.
That's not going to help their cause. A gentle freebie first up from Ahmad Butt onto the pads of Unmukt Chand. Name one batsman in this lineup who's very strong on the flick of his pads. That's Unmukt Chand.
Yeah, Unmukt Chand is just taking every single bowler that's coming to him to the cleaners. There's no one is not getting dispatched. It seems Lahiru has been a little quiet, just taking singles, and that's completely reasonable with how Unmukt is batting right now.
That's a nice tight call, just drops and runs. He got the boundary of the first delivery. That shows you the experience of Unmukt. The situation demands or doesn't demand for anything too exuberant. You're looking at umpire Sandeep Gondalekar on your screen. Started his umpiring career from the UK, umpired there for several years, but he's been umpiring across various circuits in the US for the last decade or so. Polished, seasoned umpire, and so is Jermaine Lindell. Ahmad Butt continues, and Lahiru Melantha. Look at that. Insult to injury. The 50 comes up, and these two are not looking to stop in any way possible. In fact, 50 came up on that last delivery, that flick shot, which Unmukt played. The score is 57 now, my apologies. As the power play is just about to come to a close, they're cruising right now. They're really cruising, and the required rate is now under 8 runs and over for the first time in this innings, Laksh.
Nothing is working for the Clarion Eagles right now. Oh, and he flicks that off his pads. Maybe look for 2. Yes, they will. Oh, no. He sends him back. They could have ran for 2, but at the end, it's 50.
The thing is, you're up against really top quality batsmen. We'll give you that. But oftentimes, the basics are what you need to do the best. Even in this over, I've seen one delivery wide off the off stump dispatched over sweeper cover, one down the leg side, flicked for a four, another one down the leg side. They've been spraying it. Arshad has been the only bowler, I thought, who bowled a good line and length and bowled to a plan. The other two seamers have just given freebies so far. Now, that's a good delivery, but was there a need for that? Frustration probably is what's creeping in. Unmukt respectfully walks away, doesn't confront. He doesn't need to. His bat's going to do most of the talking. He's batting on 30 of 18 deliveries.
Oh, shot. Yeah, as you said, Unmukt is going to let his bat do the talking and not his words.
We were talking about spraying the ball. He's showing his variety, the full spectrum. Now full toss down the pads.
Yeah, he's hitting all over the ground. Unmukt Chand.
He's bowled every kind of delivery. He's bowled a short one. He's bowled a couple down the leg side. He's bowled short and wide. He's bowled full and wide, and now full toss on the pads. No wonder that over went for 14 runs.
Yeah, sometimes as a bowler, you just need to stay consistent. But Ahmed Butt has bowled all over the place.
He has stayed inconsistently consistent in that over. We look at the bowling card of the Clarion Eagles during this over break. As you can see, Sadaf went for 21 of his two. Arshad was the only bowler who had some kind of control, but his last two deliveries went for boundary. Skipper Ali Shafiq was taken downtown by skipper Unmukt Chand, and Ahmed Butt came on and conceded 14 runs. It's a sorry story so far for the Clarion Eagles. They need a wicket. They need not just one, they need two or three to get any kind of grip on this game, or this game is going to slip away through their fingers very soon, if not already.
Oh, what a shot. They're probably, yeah, they're definitely coming back for two here. Just cheekily open the face, and they run back for two. I think the batting lineup for Dallas All-Stars, if they lose Lahiru, they'll probably send in Evan Lewis, which is another lefty. But if they lose Unmukt, then they'll probably send a right-hander to keep that right-left combo. That's a good ball from Ali Shafiq. Just using the pitch, using the spongy, bouncy type of pitch to bounce up onto Unmukt Chand.
Interestingly, in spite of all the humidity and the heat, it's still not a tacky wicket. The balls are not really sticking on, and everything is coming on nicely. But if you roll your fingers and you really bowl it short, like any pitch, the ball tends to come out a little slower. But that's got to do more with the style of bowling than the pitch itself. So bowlers have to keep trying variations and not be predictable. As Ali Shafiq tries a short one at Unmukt Chand, and as we have seen on a lot of occasions, he's so good with that weight transfer, lets the ball come through to his front shoulder, And as it's about to pass him, comes out that hook shot. We've seen that wonderful stroke time and time again.
Unmukt Chand has lost the ball in the bushes. 40 off 21 now. He's flying, and I think they don't lose any wickets. It's definitely an easy victory for the Dallas All-Stars.
That is what makes Unmukt so hard to bowl at. He's got some of these very conventional shots, but then also out of nowhere he pulls a rabbit out of the hat, and if you try and bowl short, he has that wonderful hook shot, which you can just tell that's an Unmukt Chand shot. A lot of players who are very good pullers. Ricky Ponting had that string in the step when he used to pull the ball. Unmukt is very similar. He's so quick to rock back onto the back foot and allows the ball to come onto him. He never takes it from front of him. He always takes it from behind his shoulder, gets inside the line of the ball, and always goes very fine. And then the other shot we have seen is when he senses that a bowler is getting steady on a good line and length, he's very good to step down the pitch, and goes inside out over cover. And we saw those 2 sixes, and I've seen him do that time and again to bowlers inside the power play. So he's got every shot in the book, but then he again brings out some of these shots which really send shock waves across the bowling lineup. And that's been the case with Ali Shafiq. He must be super confused where to bowl to this guy now.
Yeah, that just shows how much experience Unmukt Chand has, and how much he confuses the bowlers to areas that he can basically hit in all areas. You just have the only way bowlers can get him out is in the early overs, or if you bowl an absolute beauty. Oh, that's another 4.
Ben Dunk couldn't get across. It was still a pretty wide edge, but the third man seemed to be very wide. And that's a sign of the bowlers not trying to bowl express. Otherwise, you would have that third man in fine leg very fine. But they've set them at very wide angles. And unfortunately for Ali Shafiq, Ben Dunk was quite far away and he couldn't cut it off. It was a conventional edge which should have been a single to third man on that occasion. But such is the impact. I think you're just trying to think out of the box and outfox the batsman. But in return, the batsman keeps pulling off a fast one on you. Ali Shafiq continues from the forest end, 75 for no loss. That's a good line and length now. Finally, he's hit his bearings, keeping it simple. The over comes to an end. After 7 overs, could you have guessed it? 75 for no loss.
Right as Shadley Van Shalquick has walked into the box, he said cricket is a funny game, and right as he walked out, Lahiru's out.
Shirley Van Skalwick, if you're listening to us, you jinxed it for your own team there. The bowling change. Finally, a spinner comes on after 7 overs. I wonder why he wasn't tried. in the power play when things were going haywire for the Clarion Eagles, but better late than never. The first wicket falls. Lahiru Milantha is dismissed for 29 runs of 19 deliveries. He's played a good knock. And now we wonder if the next player coming in is indeed Evan Lewis. What a packed batting lineup this is for Dallas All Stars. They definitely start the tournament as one of the hot favorites. The skipper Unmukt Chand has scored 44 good-looking runs. The first wicket falls for 75. Jersey number 17 is the new batsman, which my colleague Laksh would confirm who that batsman is. But Michael Grattan, hailing from Netherlands, and he's played some of his cricket in New Zealand also. He played a handy knock lower down the order and had that wonderful partnership with Tom Bruce. But now he comes on and gets that big wicket of Lahiru Milantha. A bit too late, a bit too little, but there's still 94 runs to be scored, so never say never as far as Clarion Eagles are concerned.
Yeah, the new batsman to the crease is Reza Hendricks.
Reza Hendricks, hailing from South Africa. Evan Lewis has dropped down the order. He's traditionally an opening batsman, but this is such a stacked batting lineup that somebody's got his bat somewhere. A dot ball. Looking at Michael Grattan, left arm wrist spin. They don't come by often. And a lot of them are Chinamen. If they get it to go the other way, the googly, like this one, that is a Chinaman. And a lot of bounce on it too because of the revs he puts on the ball. There's still a lot of bounce in this pitch. These 4 overs from Michael Grattan, by the look of it, the signs are ominous. He's going to be important in this chase. Again, a great delivery. Nicely played by Reza. Goes for a single. Unmukt Chand is going to face up Michael Grattan now. This could be a great contest. That's just watching Michael Grattan. He's aroused my interest back in this game. He's going to be an absorbing spell from him, and bowling to Unmukt Chand with his left arm wrist spin is going to be a mouth-watering contest. Wonderful delivery again. Refreshing to see somebody bowl according to a plan with good line and length and not bowl any freebies. That one was a little short, and Unmukt thought it was there for the big hoik, but it also skidded on and in the process kept low. Unmukt did well to get some bat on it and get just a single. As over number 8 comes to an end, and it's refreshing to see just 2 runs and a wicket from that over. Michael Grattan, where were you hiding all this time?
Yes, Ahmed Butt coming back into the attack 14 runs off his first over. Let's see what he can do in his second. Oh, what a shot from Unmukt. And that brings up his 50. Yes.
As Ahmad was marking his run-up, Laksh,
Yes.
the words in my mouth were, a good over has been bowled. Ahmad, back him up. Backing up with some tight bowling, but the first ball was just right in the slot. A juicy half volley. Unmukt now batting on 51. He was never going to miss out on that.
Unmukt can maybe even score a century here if he can. But the flow of his bat swing is just incredible to look at live. Like the timing, how how much power he puts in. Even though he's not a big man, he can hit farther than a lot of other people.
As you're getting these close-up images, courtesy of SC Tech Productions, Riza Hendricks and Unmukt Chand. Two big names in the international cricket circuit. Riza Hendricks has played for South Africa, a regular fixture in their top order, and Unmukt Chand is known across the globe for his exploits for India under 19. He's been with IPL setups. He's played a lot of cricket for the state of Delhi in the first class circuit, the Ranji Trophy. Played for Mumbai Indians and the Delhi Daredevils back in the days, who are now the Delhi Capitals. And speaking of which, a lot of these IPL established franchises have made inroads into the US market now through the Major League Cricket. The Houston Open, as the next delivery comes in, a lot of good bounce there. Surprise on the Unmukt. Gloves it to fend it down for no run. Yeah, so coming back to the topic of the Major League, this Dafa News Houston Open is the precursor to that tournament. A lot of those players who are featuring in the Major League are part of one of these 15 teams, getting accustomed to the Texas weather, getting accustomed to high-intensity T20 cricket, polishing and honing their skills are these players. And look at that.
What a shot. Is he going to catch it? No.
We are both lost for words. He didn't premeditate it. I don't think he did. He was very quick on his feet, got into position as the ball was just about to be released, and brought out that scoop shot, and it went dead straight over the keeper. It went straight over the keeper's head, one bounce, and rolled over into the side screen. Unmukt Chand, you're looking ominous. You're batting on 55. Out of those 83 runs, he's doing the bulk of the scoring. Almost 75% of the runs of the bat of Unmukt Chand, Laksh.
Yeah, a shot that we've seen from Joe Root a lot from the Ashes. Maybe he caught on from that, Unmukt. But that was such a beautiful shot to look at.
And we've seen him play this shot over and over again as he faces up again and he tries a second one. This is insult to injury. Unmukt Chand, you're putting on a show here. Ahmad Butt is being taken to the cleaners. One over the keeper through the offside. The second scoop, 180 degrees on the other side of the wicket. He goes behind fine leg. Two back-to-back boundaries, both scoop shots. The chins have dropped in the Clarion Eagles camp. This is an outright assault by Unmukt Chand. He's batting over a strike rate of 200 right now, Laksh.
Almost 50 of exactly 50 of Unmukt Chand's runs have come from boundaries, and that just says something about how he's taking every single bowler to the cleaner. except Michael Grattan, but he only bowled 1 over. And we'll see what he can do with his second over. But every other bowler, he's taking them to the cleaners.
Yeah, these gentle half volleys at that decent pace is not going to cause any concerns to Unmukt. And this one again is very full, almost a full toss, and it takes an outside edge and goes to Ben Dunk at third man. I've just been surprised that in these 9 overs, there's been 8 overs of pace. Given the way Unmukt has bowled, you want to take the pace off the deliveries, change it up a bit, make him manufacture strokes. Not that he's not doing that already, but just a different flavor. Clarion Eagles, where are your spinners? Nicely pushed by Riza Hendricks to long off. He's content with rotating the strike based on the way Unmukt is going. He has moved on to 60 runs of 30 deliveries. What a knock so far. Looking at the batting scorecard of the Dallas All-Stars. All-Stars they are from top to bottom. Lahiru Milantha is the only casualty. He scored a good 29, but Unmukt Chand is on 60, and Riza Hendricks has just walked into bat. There's Ashley Nurse, Kerry Peer, Evan Lewis. Evan Lewis is not going to bat at that number 6 like the scorecard says. I can tell you that right now. And apologies, we missed bringing you that first delivery from Michael Grattan, who's into his second over now. Riza Hendricks got it to cover for 1. And that brings Unmukt Chand on strike, the most mouth-watering contest we have been looking forward to.
Oh, dispatch.
Out comes the big sweep. With the turn, the quality of Unmukt Chand, it's just one-way traffic, no matter who it is right now. Nothing wrong with that delivery, Laksh.
Yeah, there's nothing Michael Grattan can do about that. It's just the skill and experience of Unmukt Chand. It's just too good for Clarion Eagles bowling. One run from the 100 up for Dallas All-Stars.
A good stop by Ali Shafiq keeps it down to 1 run. Gonna brief you up on some results from today. There have been a lot of interesting games. Samp Army and Space City Raiders played on PV6 this morning, and Samp Army notched up 241 runs. Won by 132 runs that game. This is played to sweep a cover for another single. Atlanta Fire and UMMC Knight Riders played a game this morning, and Atlanta Fire could only manage 124 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their 20 overs, which was chased by UMMC Knight Riders in just 11 overs, and they win that game by 10 wickets. That's going to be a dot ball. Good over by Michael Grattan. In another game, the Clarion Eagles faced Unique Tigers, and Clarion Eagles got 180 runs for the loss of 6 wickets, and Unique Tigers could only get 246 runs for the loss of 7. So they lost that game by 34 runs. By the look of it, it's going to be even Stevens for Clarion Eagles unless they do something very dramatic in this game. Masters Cricket Club took on Kingsmen this afternoon in their second game, and Masters scored 165 for the loss of 8 in their 20, which was chased by Kingsmen in just 13.4 overs for the loss of only 2 wickets. So Kingsmen winning that game by 8 wickets. And for Kingsmen, Sharjeel Khan, the Pakistan international, top scored with 89 of 46 deliveries with 10 sixes, Laksh. And Ramiz Raja scored 48, and Martin Guptill got 18. A lot of big names involved in this tournament. As Mukhtar Ahmed comes on, the second spinner. And this one is again dispatched by Unmukt Chand for a boundary. Easy pickings, those. He moves on to 70 of 35. He's been true to that strike rate of 200 all along this innings. This one's driven to cover. Dot ball. And saving the best for last, the most interesting one. There's a game going on at PV6, Prairie View 6 right now. Samp Army scoring 259 against the Houston Stars. And this one, Laksh, I'll let you call this one.
That's 6. That's gone in the bushes. Unmukt Chand is not... He's not having any mercy on any of the bowlers.
Yeah, normal services have resumed for Unmukt, it seems.
At this rate, Unmukt can easily score a century. 57 runs off 57 balls. And he only needs about 24 more runs for a century.
And another 6 there for Unmukt. It's almost a foregone conclusion. We were talking about getting more spinners into the mix, but interestingly, they only had one recognized spinner. And Mukhtar is not known for his spin prowess, but that's the second spinner they've brought on. And he's dropping them short. He's giving Unmukt a lot of time to rock back onto the back foot. Those are easy pickings for Unmukt. Can he make it 3 and 3? And he does. In fact, this one's going to be a boundary. A wild full toss. A batsman of Unmukt's caliber is going to dispatch that all day long. This is getting bad to worse. And Unmukt, the skipper himself, realizes the importance of net run rate boost. It's just 10 overs right now. We're in the 11th over, and they're already at 116. They're almost going at 12 runs an over. The required rate for the first time is now under 6. They're making mockery of a total of 168 are the Dallas All-Stars. The ball's been lost. There's a pause now. So coming back to that Samp Army game, Kenar Lewis 58, strike rate of 214. Andres Goss, strike rate of 240 for 60 runs. And this one is hit straight down the ground. Mukhtar sticks a hand, but nothing comes out of it. End of the over. 14 of that. So Mukhtar's first over went for 20 runs. The Dallas All-Stars are now cruising at 122 in 11 overs. Just been one-way traffic. If their bowling innings wasn't impressive enough, the batting innings has been ominous. Michael Grattan to Reza Hendricks. Sweeper cover has some work to do, but it's only going to be a single. Good work by Ahmad Butt.
Now Unmukt only needs 14 runs for his impressive century.
You called it Laksh long time ago. When he hadn't even got to his 50, you said he has a decent chance of getting to 100. I won't jinx it for him, but kudos to you. You saw it coming.
Yeah, with the player of Unmukt Chand's caliber. Oh my god. Century is always in the charts.
Get back, Unmukt Chand. Get back in your crease. You've got 100 in the books. Just 15 runs, 13 runs away now, in fact. We've thoroughly enjoyed his stroke play. As you look at Unmukt's stats right now on your screen. In fact, it's Reza Hendricks on strike right now. And Reza Hendricks now bringing on the long handle. A short delivery. Skidded on, but it didn't bother Reza. He gets a boundary now. Just 39 runs to win now. Under 5 runs and over. Almost 4.5 runs and over. Laksh.
Yeah, as I said, all these bowlers from both teams, they always bowl the first cup, like their first two or first over, really well, and then they start to lose it in the next overs. Maybe because of the heat, maybe because they're tired, but it happens to both teams.
And also T20 is such a momentum game. When somebody is batting like the way Unmukt is, the heads and shoulders just completely drop. So there it is, and on your screen, Unmukt batting on 87 of 41. 8 fours and 7 sixes, a strike rate of 212. What a player this man is. A rare dot ball, that previous one. Michael Grattan still holding his head high. 19 of his 3 overs almost. Now this is a short one, just as I commended him. He gives a freebie to Unmukt Chand. And like he has done all day long, that goes long and handsome for a 6. Unmukt moves into the 90s, but not the nervous 90s as far as he's concerned. We have seen him score hundreds after hundreds. And it's never the case that he slows down even in the 90s. As you can see, it's been a very concise scorecard. Just three batsmen have had to contribute. Such has been the nature of this innings. And as far as the bowling goes, we've had as many as 6 bowlers used. And the best returns out of that has been for Arshad Iqbal with 7 runs and over. Everyone else has gone for a plenty. Michael Grattan has impressed with his left arm wrist spin, but not much besides that. Even from the likes of skipper Ali Shafiq, as Arshad Iqbal, like we said, he bowled a good couple of overs in his first spell. He's come back on. Really liked the heart he showed in that first spell. A good burst from him from the Highway 290 end. He's now coming from the Forest end. Couldn't have been a better start for the Dafa News Houston Open 2023 Lux. Some scintillating cricket. We've been entertained by the galaxy of stars that have descended upon Houston and on this state-of-the-art complex as Arshad continues. Nice tight line and length. Unmukt denies Reza the single. Reza wanted to get off strike, but there wasn't to be a single on that. Lakshya, plays of the day today. The innings, the performances, which have captured your imagination, inspired you as a 13-year-old young budding cricketer today?
For that, I may have to watch the replays again, but for one, right now, it's Unmukt Chand's innings. The way he's like taking control, and no, it looks like Reza Hendricks is out. Yeah.
Reza Hendricks was wanting to get to the other end, but like we have said, Arshad Iqbal has been so very impressive. He's been a bright spot for the Clarion Eagles. Just like he did in his first spell, he likes to hit the deck. Bowls a very hard length, just like Shannon Gabriel did in the first innings in those death overs. Taking a leaf out of his book is Arshad Iqbal, and Reza Hendricks has to go back. He's departed for a score of 12 runs.
It's like Evan Lewis is coming in.
We've been finally waiting for this partnership, and it's coming to fruition. Evan Lewis is going to join Unmukt Chand. Only 32 runs needed. Can the big man entertain us with some hefty blows, Laksh?
Oh wait, sorry, that is not Evan Lewis. It is Sherfane Rutherford.
Heartbreak. We were wanting to see Evan Lewis, but Sherfane Rutherford is no meager player with the bat. He packs a punch. A wonderful T20 player. Joins his skipper. From what we have seen today, Dallas All-Stars would be the team to beat in this tournament. There's the Kingsmen. They've been making waves across circuit in the US franchise cricket. There's UMMC Knight Riders, who won the Houston Open just last year, and they're also the champions of Houston Premier League. So they've got to stamp their authority on Houston cricket like they've won those 2 big tournaments in the past 12 months. There's the Samp Army. There's Atlanta Fire. There are a lot of big games and big teams to play in the next 3 or 4 days going on to the playoffs. As Sherfane Rutherford gets ready to face his first ball from Arshad. And again, look at that steam. But that's just too high. But in fact, the umpire is not calling a no ball for height. There hasn't been one bouncer for the over. He has, in fact, overstepped, points out our umpire Jermaine Lindo. Just bending his back, that extra effort to the new batsman from Arshad. Good thinking, but he's got to be careful with that front foot. And that should get Sherfane out of the blocks with a nice free hit first up to get off the mark.
Yeah, as a batsman, if you get a free hit on your first ball, it's a good feeling. And if you manage to get that free hit to the rope, then you may as well start. You can start a innings that could get you a lot of runs. What a shot from Sherfane. Just extended his arm and hit it for six.
Making me mince my words as we were anticipating Evan Lewis to come out and we saw his name below Sherfane Rutherford. But Sherfane has made such a name for himself in CPL and he's been involved in IPL of late. He's playing across the globe. A very valuable cricketer in the T20 context of things, Sherfane Rutherford. And that shot was a testament just to that.
Yeah, I think Sherfane was getting revenge from that free hit that he missed out on. Next ball is gone.
That's going to bring an end to over number 13. They're still going at quite a notch. Only 3.4 runs required from here on in. 24 from 42. Players of the likes of Unmukt Chand want to hit top form in tournaments like the Dafa News Houston Open, given the Major League, the inaugural season of the Major League is just around the corner, and he has a major role to play for his franchise. Lakshu and family are planning the drive down to the Grand Prairie Stadium to watch some of the Major League games.
Maybe I have to make plans, but I'm not sure about that. Oh, what a shot from Sherfane. He's going to hit the commentary box. Just falls short. I hope Sherfane doesn't score too many runs because Unmukt still has 7 runs to go for a century.
Mathematically, he needs just 2 balls, and the way he's been going, that may be the case today. And Sherfane.
Oh my god.
Wow, what a shot was that! How is he generating so much power? Inside out to the spinner. Michael Grattan looks shell-shocked. He has bowled so well for his first 3 overs. And now Sherfane Rutherford is getting stuck into him. Yeah, so coming back to the topic of the Major League Cricket, I for a fact know a lot of us folks from Houston would be making that trip down to Dallas. A lot of folks are still working from home, so it may be even a good trip, not just over the weekends, but also during weekdays. Some quality cricket is on display, and as we were, the Chinaman, Laksh, as we said, it went on with the arm, pitched and went in to Sherfane. He wasn't expecting that to come into him, was caught on the crease, and umpire Sandeep had no hesitation in raising his finger of slow death for Sherfane Rutherford. But hasn't he entertained us for those 7 deliveries he was out here?
And it is still not Evan Lewis, it is Hussein Talit.
Evan Lewis is not coming out now with 14 runs to go. He's rather just gonna grab a bottle of ice cold water and just chill in the dugout and get ready for the big game tomorrow. Also, interestingly, teams have got to manage their resources in this kind of heat to avoid injuries and preserve their players as much as possible for the big games that are coming ahead. So, given that Unmukt has just taken control of this chase and he has had the reins from the word go, they're almost knocking on the door now for solid 3 points to get their campaign started, and with also a major boost to their run rate. That's not how the Clarion Eagles want to close this game. A new batsman on strike facing the mystery spinner, and a misfield gets Unmukt Chand back on strike, and the new batsman off strike. Keeps getting bad to worse for the Clarion Eagles.
Unmukt has 2 balls left in this over. 2 balls that can very well likely let him have a century.
And another sloppy misfield. Was it straight to the fielder in ring at cover? He couldn't collect it cleanly, and it went for 2 more runs. So Unmukt is going to move on to 95 or 45. Still striking at over 200.
See if he hits a 6 here. Or 4. Or no.
He would prefer keeping the strike for the next over. Gets a single, and Unmukt is going to be on strike at 96 in the next over. Just a strike away from 3 figures, Laksh.
Yes. It was written on the cards that he's going to score a century from the beginning of the innings.
In fact, during the innings break, when I was speaking to Unmukt, I offered an interview after the game, not knowing that he would be getting into three figures. He still is not there, but this innings definitely is going to grab a lot of attention and highlight for the Dallas All Stars. So we'll try to get Unmukt on the mic and get his thoughts on how this game has panned out for them. Just a strike away now, Unmukt Chand. And only 10 runs to go for a win here for the Dallas All Stars. Saif Badr now comes in to bowl his off spin. This one is hit through cover. Bad bounce for sweeper, but he does well to keep it down only to 1 run. Unmukt Chand is on 97. All you folks at home, you've just got back from work. The people overseas in India are waking up to this. Tune in, share the link to this game. Unmukt Chand 100 is on the cards as Hussain Talat. Have you not received the script? There's 9 runs to go and he hits a 6. Skipper needs 3 to win and 3 is needed for a victory. Get a single. Saif Badr. Get to the other end, put the skipper on strike, and that he does. My word gets through to him. Unmukt needs 3 runs for his 100. And the Dallas All-Stars need 2 runs for a win. Only way he can get to his 100 now is through a boundary. Come on, Unmukt Chand. Give us 100. And that he does!
Yes!
Unmukt Chand!
Century!
There you go. The ball goes a long way outside the fence. Come at the hour, come at the man. The skipper for the Dallas All-Stars finishes off in style. 103 not out is Unmukt Chand. What a knock. What a player, Laksh.
What a player. Stayed from the opening to the end. That is a batsman.
The Dallas All-Stars should be very proud of their performance today. It was a crucial game. Clarion Eagles are one of the teams to watch out for in this tournament. And it's been an extremely convincing performance by the Dallas All-Stars. They started the tournament as one of the hot favorites, and they have held on to that reputation. 103 of 48 for Unmukt Chand, striking at over 200. As you look at the match summary, Clarion Eagles were put into bat by Dallas All-Stars. They kept losing wickets in bunches thanks to the 47 runs from Tom Bruce and little cameos by Ashraf and Grattan. They got to 168. Shannon Gabriel was the pick of the bowlers, and so was Hussain Talat with 3 and 2 wickets apiece, and Sheldon Cottrell bowled his 4 overs for 2 wickets and 31 runs. In return, the Dallas All-Stars, it was one-way traffic. Unmukt Chand's bat did all the talking. 103 runs for him of 48 deliveries not out. Lahiru Milantha kept him good company with 29, and Sherfane Rutherford played a little cameo of 17 runs. The Dallas All-Stars win this opening encounter by 7 wickets. As we look at the pleasantries being exchanged at the end of this first day's play, the Dallas All-Stars players and Clarion Eagles players, if you take a look at the worm, it's just been Unmukt Chand all the way along this innings. Look at that difference. They opened up that gap right from about the 4th over, and they never looked down. The first wicket fell in the 9th over, and then they lost a couple more wickets, but then they never lost wickets like the Clarion Eagles did. And if you even look at the over by over comparison, you will see a lot of tall buildings for Dallas All Stars. Quite a convincing performance for them as this game comes to an end. There's no surprises there. The player of the match is Unmukt Chand with his 100. Wonderful captaincy. Everything went to plan for them from the moment he won the toss and put the Clarion Eagles into bat. He would have taken that score of 168 any day of the week. And then the way they came out and chased that total, led by the skipper himself, it was always going to be one-way traffic, Laksh. Your thoughts on this game, Laksh?
Just it's really impressive captaincy and batting from Unmukt Chand. The way he led his team through the bowling and batting, even though when the bowling wasn't that good from his side, he still brought it back. And yeah, that's how a captain is.